Hey everyone, Cyclone here from Psyche Prods on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Hoping you guys are having a good day. As far as I'm concerned, for me, well, heading back to my spine doctor's office to see if I can try to clean up this mess that I'm dealing with and actually get the surgery that I need. But anyways, let's talk about something foolish. Let's talk about why Islam Makhachev is even considering doing something ridiculously stupid. Him wanting to go up to middleweight to fight DDP. Just because he doesn't want to fight teammates. Now, in a way, I can respect that. I mean, look. Daniel Cormier not wanting to fight Cain Velasquez, in a way, turned a good career he had in Strikeforce into an iconic one in the UFC because it gave him arguably his greatest rivalry in John Jones. I mean, look, yeah, DC beat a lot of guys, but if you say DC and give me the first opponent that comes to mind of his, it's going to be John. That doesn't happen if DC stays at heavyweight while Cain Velasquez is there. So I could kind of understand it. If you ask Dana White, I guarantee you that Dana White is still furious with Merab not fighting Aljo when Aljo had the strap. I'm willing to bet that. Now, it's really foolish for Islam to not want to fight teammates because, and I just talked about this in the last video, Eagles MMA is about, over the next 2 years, going to flood the UFC market with fighters. What's he going to do? Not fight every single one of them? Now look, Bilal Muhammad isn't really a teammate of Islam Makhachev. Yes, he's done training sessions at Eagles MMA. Yes. But is he a real teammate? No, he's not a real teammate. Still trains out of Rufus, still trains out of Chicago. Has he done full camps at Eagles? I don't know. I don't know if he has. But I don't look at him at all as a true teammate to Islam. And even so, let's go over this, okay? And yeah, I get it. Any given Sunday, anybody could get beat, one punch, one takedown and a chokeout and it's all over. A fast call by a ref. I get it. Anyone can get beat, period. Okay? So, can he go up to middleweight and beat Dricus Du Plessis? Sure. I guess it can happen. But would it? No. Not even close. Now, I am happy that he has said that he'd be open to fighting Justin Gaethje. And quite frankly, that's one of the fights that should be next on his plate. He has a lot left at 155. And, as a matter of fact, I've heard rumblings that even Khabib isn't happy with the idea of him going up 2 divisions. Maybe there'll be a little rift growing there between Khabib and arguably his best student, Islam Makhachev. Let's just see. Now look, at lightweight, you have the Arman Tsarukyan fight getting rebooked, possibly, maybe, if necessary. You have the Justin one. Islam thinks he's a boxer now? Okay. Go 5 rounds with Max Holloway. See if you leave the cage the same way you enter the cage. Michael Chandler's still sitting out there. I think Dariush deserves a shot. What's he going to do? Say he won't fight Beneil Dariush because he's Iranian? I mean, he's, American, but he's Iranian. Him and Paddy Pimblett would be fun. I'd love to. I'd actually have to root for Islam in that just to shut Paddy up. But that would be an interesting scrap. Now, can he handle welterweights? Sure. And I have no problem with somebody moving down one division, moving up one division, as far as MMA is concerned. You could get away with big jumps in boxing because in boxing, it's just strikes. Okay, you don't have to worry about knees, elbows, takedown, submission. You don't have to worry about none of that stuff in boxing. And let me tell you something. In a clinch situation, what do you think an elbow coming from DDP is going to do to Islam's face? And quite frankly, on the ground, he's not some slouch. Du Plessis has 11 submissions himself. So I mean, he's not horrible down there. He can put Islam to sleep. It doesn't take a lot of energy and a lot of strength to put someone out. Okay. But middleweight, no, Islam. Those guys are just too big. They hit harder, and I'm sure he trains with guys that are 185ers. But again, sparring is so much different than fighting. You're not getting a full speed in a sparring session. Okay? You're just not. At welterweight, I mean, I'm no fan of Bilal Muhammad's, but I think Bilal could possibly beat him. I think he takes out Leon Edwards. Shavkat Rakhmonov fight against Islam would be fun. He wants to go on the ground, okay. Go fight Kamaru Usman, even at this advanced age. Let him scrap against Ian Gary. Okay? There are fights for him at welterweight I wouldn't be opposed to at all. I mean, even Wonderboy Thompson. It wouldn't be horrible. It would be bad, but not horrible. So there are fights there. Now, again, any given Sunday, anybody could get beat. So can he be a middleweight? Sure. But they're just too big. Okay, he escaped, getting cracked by Dustin Poirier. What happens if, say, someone like Paulo Costa, who punches like a Mack truck, what happens if he cracks him? Okay, Islam is not thinking this whole thing through. In fairness, at least he didn't say he wants to fight John Jones. At least he didn't call out, like Jake Paul. At least he's smart enough not to call out Conor McGregor. So there are some call-outs that are smart, but sometimes these pugs just aren't thinking straight. And again, in boxing, you can move up and down really big jumps because, first of all, a lot of the weight classes are closer together. And second, it's just striking. Robert Whittaker would knock Islam's head off his shoulders. I think somebody like Israel Adesanya would snipe, just counter-snipe him and pick him apart, honestly. Izzy's takedown defense isn't horrible. Now, there's new talk that Ilia Topuria wants to move up. Okay. But we have seen Islam fight someone moving up. We saw it twice with Volkanovski. Do we want to see, and as good as that fight's going to be, that would be, because Topuria can strike. Topuria is not horrible on the ground either. Do we want to see him fighting another blown-up 145er? And it probably, he's going to have to move up because he has said constantly getting to 145 is hard on him. So maybe 155 is where Topuria lands. But there are so many good fights for him there still. I think that's where Makhachev needs to stay. And he talked that he wants to be a 3-weight champion. Homeboy, Bubala, darling, before you win 3, you must win 2. And not wanting to fight a teammate is just foolish. Okay. Add on the fact that Du Plessis' fight IQ isn't horrible. He's an unorthodox style fighter. Fights from every crazy angle. He does things that you can't really train against because he's so off balance with his attacks. His footwork's underrated. Now, yes, you get him to the ground, all that goes out the window because there's no advantage on the ground as far as size is concerned. But I think there's a lot of work left for him where he is. Stay there. Just keep taking guys out. Okay? Don't be a small fish in a big pond. There's no reason for it. So, guys, do me a favor. I need you to like this video, please. Share it out. Drop a comment, drop a question below. Let me know what you think. Do you think Islam should move up to welterweight? What do you think about him wanting to move up to middleweight? Let me know. Subscribe to the channel. And check out the videos that are on either side. And I guess until the next video, which will be a fun one, which will be the picks for the week. Cyclone saying, peace out, homies.